What is good, guys and girls? It's your boy, this dude here, and today I wanted to talk about the importance of breeding, not just reptiles, but animals in general. We're not gonna waste any time. Let's go. Now, animals have roamed this earth for hundreds of thousands of years, if not longer. And humans have roamed this earth for hundreds of thousands of years, if not longer. Somewhere along the line, we integrated them into society. Instead of just living alongside these animals, they started to live with us, providing us with many different benefits, many different perks of life, from clothing to food, even really just being our friends. Animals have provided humans with very enriched lifestyles. But after spending so much time with these animals, we realize, even much like humans, not all animals are built the same. Some animals have outstanding traits, and this is where breeding comes in. We have animals that are faster than others, and we're not talking about other species, right? You have some animals that are stronger than others, some that are built taller, and you can breed for these things in a lot of cases. Say we're breeding sheep, and we have a particular line of sheep that just gives off extra thick wool. We're gonna put those we're gonna use, you see what I'm saying? And much like breeding for like speed, power, intelligence, we can breed for like temperament, for animals that are more calm around humans, more used to being handled, animals that are more resistant to sickness, cutting down on how much antibodies we have to use or how much medical attention this particular bloodline's gonna need, which saves in a lot of different ways, not just with the animal's health, but overall. You can breed for many different traits, and this is something we've come to realize over time. Whether it be cows, chickens, shrimp, sheep, right? Breeding for particular traits, and breeding animals, just breeding in general, it's necessary. And a lot of these animals, like I said, are being used and integrated into human society. We have a use for them. Your chickens, your cows, your goats, and things like that. Fish, shrimp. There's huge farms and breeders for these animals because we have them integrated into our society. Reptiles are a little bit different though. Think about it, right? How much do we use any reptile? But the way they see it, they don't really rush to save the reptiles because we haven't integrated them into human society the same way. They don't produce us milks and eggs and clothing and leathers and things like that, right? So a lot of the times the reptiles kind of get forgotten about. Their land is getting used up and they don't really care. Their land is getting taken from them for other purposes, in a lot of cases for use with other animals that are more useful and integrated into society. And it's kind of sad, right? We don't have too many people fighting for these animals. They almost don't have a leg to stand on. Now, we're always gonna need breeders of all sorts. Birds, fish, arachnids, mammals, reptiles. We're gonna need breeders, and especially for the mammals because they're integrated into society. We're gonna need breeders. It is absolutely imperative that people are working with these, and this is a science that's always evolving and changing day to day. There are a lot of things you can learn from the books, but there are certain things that you can only learn from just spending time with these animals, hands-on, getting to know these animals. And like I said, this is changing every day, every week, every month, every year. But it's absolutely imperative. We need breeders. Which brings me over to reptiles. Like I said, I've been living alongside reptiles for about 30 years now, and we decided to start breeding to produce some happy and healthy captive bred animals. Not all is good, right? Now, when you're dealing with breeding, you're gonna see a lot of things you don't normally see with animals. I think the breeders, they have it really hard. You see some babies that don't have the will, that are just born without the will to live, and it's heartbreaking. But 99% of the time, it's not like that. These animals are suffering habitat loss at an alarming rate. And really, who's gonna do anything about it? Like I said, these animals aren't integrated into society the same way a lot of the big mammals are. Cows, sheep, even your cow, or your cows, your cats, dogs, things like that. Like, these are a part of day-to-day human life. They kind of look at snakes and lizards like, yeah, what kind of use do we have for them? And it shows in their actions. They don't mind chopping down miles and miles of forest. Have you seen Madagascar? It looks ridiculous out there. Ridiculous. Habitat loss. It's crazy out there. Not just out there though. Like I said, these reptiles don't have a leg to stand on, and this is where we come in. We need to be breeding and supplying the market with as much as humanly possible. These animals are suffering out there and there's nobody to fight for them. We need to stand up and do something. Like you guys know, the crested gecko was thought to be extinct until what was it, 1994 or something, when they discovered this animal or rediscovered this animal. And now you cannot go anywhere without seeing them, and I think that's absolutely amazing. I don't think these crested geckos would be well suited for living in the wild, but there are hundreds of thousands of them now. We did our thing with the crested gecko. Let's do it again. Let's do it all over again with a lot of these other species, because there's nobody fighting for them. Like I said, I've been breeding for a little bit. I wanted to talk for a second about that. So I've been using these incubators. Had it all set up and everything. Had a couple clutches of fire skink eggs in here. I really didn't want to talk about it. I wanted it to be a surprise for my community. You can imagine the pain I felt when I came in here, and the front of this was foggy. I walked by it and it felt like walking by an oven. I was like, whoa, what happened? It had malfunctioned and heated up to as hot as it could go. When I opened this thing, there was nothing I could do. They were already gone. I lost everything that was put inside of here. So I made my own. This is my new incubator. We got the thermostat and everything. Everything's hooked up inside here. The lights are kind of wonky to see. The strip fell off the top. So I'm gonna replace this light probably this week. We're gonna just use one block light. Up here you see the fans running, heat tapes on, lights on. We got these water bottles down here to keep temp. But yeah, I made my own incubator, about 5 times as big, and about, I'm gonna say a third, no, not a third, probably a little over half the price, right? So fully functional, it's amazing. And yeah, we can get right back to work. And yeah, I'm about to actually search all of my enclosures for eggs. I hadn't been pushing anything because my incubators had just been blowing up left and right. But we have 100% control of this. There ain't no malfunctioning, and if there are malfunctions, we know what goes wrong. I cannot wait to start using this. So yeah, we're gonna get to work. Like I said, you can get to breeding in anything. I'm breeding fish right now, shrimp, taking my shot at turtles, and we got reptiles going on here. So and I really just like bringing in the animals. Has nothing to do with money. I don't even make a lot of money off of this, right? Has nothing to do with the money. I just like raising babies to adults and then pairing those adults and bringing in new offspring, like genetic diversity, right? When you find like an animal that's patternless. I got patternless day geckos, absolutely beautiful, right? Now when you find things like this in animals and you want to selectively breed for, you know, like they've been doing this with koi fish for hundreds of years. Yeah, I just think it's absolutely amazing. And then this also, we have more animals on the market that are tame, disease-free, not ridden with parasites, didn't come from the wild. We don't have to impact what's going on out there because they have a hard time already. And if they let us work with some of these threatened species or some of these, you know, these species that are endangered and we can get it down, then it's like we could bring these populations back and maybe not introduce them back into the wild. They may not have a home anymore. Like the axolotls, right? They may not have a home in the wild, but they'll always have a home here, I guess. Right? I guess what I'm trying to say is we need to be breeding more of these animals in captivity, supplying the market with happy, healthy, very tame and handleable animals. Like I said, this cuts down on a lot of problems in the future. And I just think that a lot of these reptiles in general, they need help. There are a lot of people doing many things, and a lot of you guys out there, you're teaching me every day, especially my community. I love you guys. You guys are smart. These reptiles need help. It's your call to arms. Breeders get involved. Anyways, I think it's really important that we have more breeders getting involved, whether you're working at the zoo or you're just working at home. We're all needed. All of you are needed. Every last one of us is needed. There's experiences that you're gonna have that this man isn't, that I'm gonna have that this woman is not. Every one of us is needed. Just get involved. Let's help increase the population of some of these reptiles, man. They need our help. Anyways, I'm your boy Smith, man. This is All Things Living. I just wanted to talk about the importance of breeding. Not just reptiles, but animals in general. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.